We see what's happening around the world, and as I said, the fact that we have been able to have a strong health response means that our economy is able to power ahead, to be charged up, and to make sure that we are focusing on jobs. And you only have to look around here at Century Batteries to know that there are hundreds of people employed locally here. These are safe jobs, they are secure jobs, these are jobs that you can build a life around. Chris was telling me that some people have worked here for 20, 30, 40 years. It is basically people come here and they work a lifetime and they have a secure job for their family. And you know, representing this electorate, I know how important it is to have a good, decent job. The men and women that work around here, they want to be able to provide the basics for their family. They want a roof over their head, they want to be able to put food on the table. These are the basic things that you build a life around and what your family is centred around. That's what my grandfather taught me, that's what my father taught me, and this is what I stand for every single day. And it brings me back home in terms of what people need in their life. And for me, the number one thing is keeping Queenslanders safe. And we would not be able to be standing here and people would not be able to be working here in Queensland if it wasn't for our strong health response. Now, I've heard the Premier of New South Wales make some comments today. Well, let me say very clearly, I will not be lectured to by the Premier of New South Wales on what is right for Queensland. The actions of all Queenslanders have kept us safe, and they will continue to keep us safe because we listen to the Chief Health Officer. And apparently the Premier of New South Wales said today that she's in regular contact with Deb Frecklington, and that Deb Frecklington would have opened up the borders. Now, we will know what would have happened if the borders would have been opened up. We would have been in a situation like Victoria. Over 700 people have lost their lives in Victoria. That's 700 families impacted, 700 lives lost. And we see what's happening around the world. And for me, what you see is what you get. I will always stand up for what is right in this state. I will always stand up for families, every single day. And I will always take the advice of the Chief Health Officer. Now, people can try and play politics with this, but it's no laughing matter. This is about people's lives and about people's livelihoods. And what everyone has to think about in this election is the choice that they have to make. Our strong response to health means our economic recovery is well underway. And our economic recovery plan supports some 55,000 jobs. Or is all that going to be at risk for an untried, untested opposition that fails to meet the basic 101, which is how they are going to fund their unfunded election commitments? $26 billion. These are serious issues for the opposition, and they're serious issues for the people of this state. So I'm asking Queenslanders to stay the course. I'm asking Queenslanders to think very clearly about the choice. Jobs or cuts? Stability or chaos? These are really important questions, and we know that this election is going to be close. Basically, I've got everyone up against me. We know that Deb Frecklington and the LNP and Clive Palmer work hand in glove. How do we know that? Well, the president of the LNP was actually working for Clive Palmer. And we've got Clive Palmer's scare campaign out there, trying to scare the elderly people of this state. Well, just stop it. Just stop it. That is not the Queensland way. It is not right to scare people with misinformation when it is simply not true. So, the choice is there for Queenslanders. What you see with me is what you get. People have known me. They've known me for the last 5 years, working hard every single day, whether it's dealing with floods or cyclones or tragedies that happen around our state. They know what they get. With Deb Frecklington, it is untested, it is untried, and we know now that they would work as one with New South Wales, and what would have happened in Queensland could have been catastrophic. They are the words of the New South Wales Premier, Gladys Berejiklian. They were the words. Regular conversations with Deb Frecklington, and they would run their own personal crusade at the expense of the health and the livelihoods of people in their state.